What's the takeaway on my good friend Stephen? Pardon? Speak up.
He was an asshole.
You notice they don't make movies about these guys until 5-10 years after they're dead. It was, it was hard. The next movie that comes out about him is going to be worse. There's been 2 movies, as I recall. I don't know, I think this was the second one. Success leaves clues, kids. And what clues is that? Of all these high performers that we've talked about, we're not modeling all of what they do because some of them were in the right place at the right time. Some of them created the right time. Some of them are one-trick fucks. A couple of them are 2-trick fucks. We have no 3-trick fuck guys yet. And as Steve Ballmer said, they strive to be 3-trick fuck guys. And it's arguably whether they're Microsoft is a 2-trick fuck, but the Microsoft people said they were 2-trick fucks. So who am I to argue? So what other clues does we profiled a number of the greatest, allegedly, purportedly, theoretically, ostensibly, the greatest minds that ever were vis-a-vis entrepreneurism, right? And what do they all have in common?
They demand stuff.
They're hard drivers. It's we're not giving them a chance. They're taking the chance. So what else do they all have?
They trust their gut feeling.
They trust their gut feeling. Okay, and what else?
They get it done no matter what. They don't make any excuses.
And when your mother's uterus falls out, I'll be with her. What else? Obsessed.
Absolutely.
Doesn't sound much like you, does it? Or the YouTube fucks. But money's not important, kids. You can just stay in your fucking caravan and live there. It's all right. Yes, ma'am.
Even though his first idea failed, second idea failed, he just kept going back to the drawing board. He kept going.
And as we quoted Wozniak and some stuff. He thought that he was the elite super race, not dissimilar to what is purportedly thought was thought by Mr. Gates and a few others, Henry Ford and God knows. And I would imagine, and I don't know this because they didn't keep records, going back to I'm sure Alexander the Great thought the same fucking things. So So success does leave clues. And even though I don't believe in mastermind groups, as I said, if you can't help yourself, you just have to, if you have to have a fucking business plan, this is the only fucking way to do it. We're going to explain. And I told you that I did have a mastermind group, but not like these fucking pea-brains are teaching you now. Not you, I mean, in general, the guys out there. Adolf Hitler was my main man on my mastermind group. Adolf. And I told you Jesus forgave Adolf, and Albert Einstein, the other guy, didn't. Of course, he was chased out of Germany. If my history, recollection is correct, he left Germany because of the Nazism in the late 30s, if my memory serves me correct. So, here we are on the penultimate day. That's a high-rent word for the day next to the last day. And we've talked and we've gone through a lot of steps, and now it's like sex, it's all going to come at the end. But my hall of influencers, with one or two minor exceptions up there, all of the same, think 75 to 85 to 90% of the same, of the profiles of the big hitters, the people arguably that changed the world in the last 150 years. And another thing, when you're modeling, when they got towards the end of their life, they all turned to God. Because just in fucking case, there is a God, they want to, cover the bases. Jobs, all of them, they turn to, Bible thumpers of one form or another. Buddha, whoever. Just in case. So they fucked, raped, pillaged, ate alive everybody until they got old. So, success leaves clues. So, you take that for what it's worth. And I fall into the same category. There's pictures of nuns up there. In addition to Jesus. And Sister Lois, keep praying, sweetheart. Guys, so it's not it for everybody. Contrary to what you may have been told. And Theodore, my Bulgarian brute, said in his infinite wisdom yesterday, this is not for everyone, and it's not. But even if you take just some of the stuff that you've learned heretofore into the next couple of days, and that I will instruct you over your free year mentor program, you'll be having an infinitely better life. But you say, as do most of the kids that do personal development, and remember when you listen to the Napoleon Hill talking about Andrew Carnegie, they didn't call it personal development back in the day. They called it personal success. Only in the last 40 or 50 years has it morphed, pivoted into development. And why? Because nobody can bring you any fucking success. But you can develop as a person. You can be a better person. Well, that's a load of cock. I'm not interested in being a better fucking person. Give me the fucking money and I'll be better something that I want to be. There's a big difference between being a better person in personal development and personal success, which it all started as. It's meandered into the line of least resistance. Because who can judge if you're a better person or not? Nobody. It's an amorphous. It's a load of cock. And that's why the industry's shifted that way. And that's why when I got in this business 23, 24 years ago, and the guys told me, the personal development business, Dan, is a $1 billion business. It's one motherfucking dollar going around to a billion morons. And I didn't believe them. Boy, could they have saved me a lot of fucking time. If I only would have believed them. I just thought they were trying to keep me out of the business. God almighty. You've already developed as persons, mostly badly. But you've developed. Sure, you've developed. And these fucking morons, these retards on the fucking YouTube, they've developed. They've gone from 2 cell to 1 cell. To paramecium or amoeba, which everyone's got 1 cell. Everyone's got 1 cell. But the $1 billion Sri Lankan, where's my main squeeze? The guy, that shut a lot of people up. The comments from these assholes on YouTube, fuck. $1 billion from a mongoloid idiot. That shut him up. And it should, you fucking cocksuckers. Because that puts it right in perspective, doesn't it? And he went to the August 2015 seminar. I mentioned yesterday, even though I was being a smartass about ripping it up, a guy went to the EU and got money, like I told him. Another guy went to the International Monetary Fund and got money, like I told him. You won't, but, Anything else about Stephen? And by the way, Stephen didn't go to school, dropped out, adopted, wouldn't claim his little daughter. You saw all that. It's historically fairly accurate. Didn't give stock to 3/4 of the people when they went public that he should have. Yes, sir.
I think Steve Jobs kind of summed it up pretty well in just one quote. He said, "I don't want people to dislike me. I'm immune to whether they dislike me."
Yeah, well, you're right. As I told Brian QLA Rose in 2014 interview, you have no idea how liberating it is when you don't give a fuck what other people think and or say. You have no idea. You cannot even contemplate in your wildest imagination. That's why I knew President Trump was going to rock the motherfucking planet. And he hasn't even done 100% of what he's going to do. And I don't agree with everything he says, but I agree with his style of pulling the trigger. I agree 100,000%. Run towards the motherfucking gunfire and kill every cocksucker there. I couldn't agree with you more, President Trump. And they're starting to write about the financial transformation. I was listening to CNBC of the world. It's probably over now because they're talking about it. And again, YouTube, when your grandkids ask you, what did you do during the big transformation? Well, I sucked my thumb after I put it up my ass. So I went like this. That's what I did through the great transformation. You don't get rich, on this one, because there may not be another one. But this is the second one I've experienced, so what the fuck, there may be a third one. I'll be 90 or 100 or something like that. And I'll be riding like the fifth horseman of the apocalypse towards the gunfire, killing everybody. Anything else about Steve before he closed down, Steve? Steve's a great entrepreneur, one of the real game changers of the last 100 years. I'm not trying to take that away from him. A great guy, vis-a-vis that. And if there is a heaven and he makes it there, then anybody can make it there. So must have a low barrier to fucking entry. Okay, YouTubers, we'll see you at lunchtime.